With Nicole Burgess coming into town, it inspired a trip down memory lane. Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, back to share another video with you guys, and today I'm doing a throwback vlog. So ever since us girls met on YouTube and we became a little girls group, we try and get together as often as possible. So whether it's every like 6 to 8 months or at least once or twice a year, as often as we possibly can, we try to get together for a girls weekend. So this particular weekend, Nicole is flying in from Louisiana to Texas to have a little girls weekend, and that made me think, I haven't shared the last one. So not every time does every girl get to go on every trip. We do our best to try and get together and be at the same place at the same time, but not always does that happen. So in this particular video that I'm sharing today, Nicole couldn't make it, and it was just myself, Vanessa, and Madison. And this time Madison couldn't make it, so it's just myself, Nicole, and Vanessa. But I'm really excited to share this video. It's been a long time. It was fun kind of editing it and putting it back together and kind of looking back at where we were 8 months ago, and I know that you guys are going to enjoy it too. So let me take you and roll you into the footage of us 3 girls in our trip to Asheville. So my homies arrived to me mid-afternoon on Friday, and we just kind of relaxed for the day. Vanessa had a long morning. She flew into Atlanta and drove with Madison up to South Carolina to visit with me. So we just kind of chillaxed on Friday and then got up early on Saturday and prepared for our departure to Asheville. So Asheville is about 2.5 hours north of where I used to live in North Carolina, and I was so excited to take the girls there. I had been to Asheville before, and Asheville is one of the most famous and historical towns in North Carolina, so I was excited to take them there. Madison found us a really cute hotel. It was really sweet. I loved that it looked more like a lodge, and so we got there and we checked into our room and prepared for dinner. Our room didn't have too much of a view, but we weren't there for the views. We were there for the girl time, the margaritas, and the ghost tour. Once we all got into the room and got settled in, we all did the normal YouTube thing. We did our little room tours, we vlogged each other, vlogging each other, and then we got changed and got prepared to head out to dinner. So we decided to go to a local Mexican restaurant, which was absolutely amazing. It's been tradition for us girls to hit up some kind of Mexican restaurant, drink some margaritas, and then go walk a ghost tour. So we got that giant mango margarita, and you can tell it has 3 straws because there was no way we were driving after that, and then we headed over to the ghost tour. You guys, tell me if you've ever used one of these things. Like, I never lived like in a huge major city where you had to park and like register for parking in a parking spot and stuff. That was like totally new. But we got there right at sunset and dusk. This was March, so it was a little chilly. We were kind of bundled up on the side of the road waiting for this ghost tour, but it was a lot of fun. Ghost tours have definitely been one of our favorite traditions.
Make sure everybody's still with me. When I slow down, it's not to cue you guys. We get it in our head. Green light. It's hilarious. Those of you in the front, I'm gonna get to know you. Where's the gentleman? They're waiting on the tail. I'm like, what's up? My name is Tad, baby. So hey everybody! Welcome to the Haunted Asheville Classic Walking Tour. My name is Tad. I'm gonna be your tour guide tonight. And before we get going, I'd like to take a moment and introduce myself, give you guys an idea of who we are, how we came by all of this information, and a little bit about what to expect from the next 2 hours experience. But one of the things I like to lead with is to ask the question, how many of us here occasionally watch one or some of the cable network ghost hunting shows. Guilty pleasure time. At least a handful of... You're at Nerds Anonymous, man. You can totally admit it. The reason I lead with that question is for those of you that follow ghost hunting and paranormal investigation are occasionally familiar with my boss, Asheville's most well-known ghost hunter and paranormal investigator, a guy by the name of Joshua P. Warren. In fact, most of this tour is based on his first book, appropriately titled Haunted Asheville. Intuitive, right? I like to dote on him a little bit. He first published Haunted Asheville back in '94 when he was still a high school student here in Buncombe County. Since then, he's had about 12 years worth of a radio show called Speaking of Strange, and these days, he's the occasional guest star on some of those ghost hunting shows. In fact, he just finished filming with Zach Bagan and the Ghost Adventure guys in Vegas for next season. And I like to dote on him a little bit, because honestly, folks, when a ghost hunter starts appearing on the cable shows, that is about the highest point of renown this field has. Believe it or not, there are no Fortune 500 companies giving out grants for dead people and orbs. Media is pretty much where the gravy is. The tour itself is about an hour and 45-minute walk around downtown Asheville, where I'm going to be stopping at particular spots and firstly giving you guys aspects of Asheville's grisly and gory history. I always tell people, if you want the clean tour, you can go to the Vanderbilt Estate and they'll tell you how shiny everything used to be. If you want to know who murdered who, you come see me. I'm the keeper of those stories. And the reason I picked these spots is that after telling you guys about the grisly past, I will then move on to modern Asheville local accounts of unexplained ghostly weirdness around those areas that many people believe to be connected to those grisly historic events. All total, I got one quick history lesson to set the stage for it all, and 4 really good ghost stories while we circle downtown Asheville. Again, takes about an hour and 45 minutes. The last spot, when we're done with the walk, we're gonna come back to the temple, descend into its basement, where sits our Mystery Museum. And it is the last spot on the tour. The museum is a combination of the boss's ghost hunting equipment, technology, a lot of displays and photographs of his research, but also with all of this Asheville history fresh on your minds, all of our hard copy and research, the old newspaper clippings, photographs, and obituaries is there for you to take a look at. And when we get back to the museum, I just kind of cut you guys loose. Take as little as you like or as long as you like checking everything out, but I kind of like to let you know we begin and end right here. All total, it's about a 2-hour experience. Last thing I like to throw in is to let you know the brain trust behind the stories. The boss, Joshua the Ghost Hunter, his background is in physics and electrical engineering. In fact, that's his job on the shows. When the muscly host is finished screaming at the air for 20 minutes, and they need a science guy to explain what the doohickey is, that's when our Joshua hits the stage. And it's like, yep, that's the exact formula of him. My background is in anthropology and comparative religion. Basically, I am a nut for the superstitions, rituals, ceremonies, and folklore, if that kind of makes sense. The third member of our team is a historian. So I like to let you guys know that I'm going to be giving you guys a very documentary style kind of presentation. I don't have anyone dressed in a sheet gun jump around a corner. It's not that kind of tour. Also, I like to explain, at no point in this tour am I going to get up on a soapbox. As either a believer or a skeptic, I have this philosophy. That's between you, your therapist, and your preacher. I shouldn't even get a vote. So when I'm talking about, and the locals see this weird stuff, and you can say to yourself, I don't believe that. And I'm like, no, I don't care, but the locals totally talk about it. That kind of makes sense. I say that because I'm not kidding. Asheville, it's like this little town of California, and New York like New Agers. But you go 5 miles in any direction, bam, you're in Billy Graham's territory again. And believe me, both camps really invested in the stuff I'm talking about. Which is why I put down in the beginning, like, this is research. Any questions before we start walking?
Ironically, there was one person in the parking lot that had a question, and that was Vanessa. Vanessa's question was, can we film? Obvious question for us, right? And the guy's answer was, you guys can take as many still shots as you want, but from this point on, until we get back here to the basement, there's absolutely no filming. My boss would kill me if this ended up on YouTube. So three of us kind of looked at each other and giggled because, well, that's exactly where this video was going. So out of respect for them, we did not film. I tried to take a still shot or two, but to be honest, a ghost tour is in the dark. So none of the quality of the pictures were really that great. And without the story behind it, you really weren't going to understand too much of us just standing in front of a random house. But if you guys have never taken a ghost tour, I highly suggest it. It was a lot of really interesting information, a lot of things that I didn't know, some things that were very specific to facts about how Asheville was kind of built up and how the Vanderbilts who came into the area, which, you know, we're going to the Biltmore the next day, which is the Vanderbilt mansion. And so it's pretty much how the Vanderbilts came here to this area of Asheville and how they made it this very rich and ritzy area out of a very farm and basic land that it was before, because they were bringing all of that New York vibe to the Carolinas, since that's where they were from. So it was really kind of cool to get some really interesting perspective on the area. And so once that was over, we went back to our hotel. We had some wine. That was a delicious D'Asti that I get from Trader Joe's. And so I brought that, and Madison surprised us with these boxes, asking us to be in her wedding. So Vanessa and I are super excited. We were shocked and honored. Those cups were like the perfect way to ask us. Inside of the box, she had little earrings that looked like a knot that said, I need you to be there with me while I tie the knot, and little bridesmaids pins. So sweet. And we're all really excited and happy for her and looking forward to that fun time. It is the next morning, you guys, and we have arrived at the Biltmore. So this was the entire reason that I wanted to bring the girls, because this is the Vanderbilt mansion and one of the largest mansions remaining in the United States. My husband and I had went a couple of years back with my cousin Jen and her boyfriend, and we had such an amazing time that I really wanted to take the girls back. I actually did vlog that trip, so I'll link it up above. We took this cute little trolley because the parking is like ridiculously far away from the mansion. And so the guy that was running the trolley was really sweet. He was kind of giving us some information, but I had already been there, but he was really, really nice, and we were really excited.
It is 100 and how many square feet? 180,000? Yeah. Square feet?
175,000 square feet.
Couldn't get on the ground.
175,000 square feet, you guys. Could you imagine cleaning that? Like, OMG. So we got ready to go inside, and now I did take some video clips, but for the most part, a lot of what you guys are going to see is photographs. This mansion, as we just mentioned, is 175,000 square feet. They do not take you through the entire thing. It's roped off. Now, like I said, I had been there before, and there were some rooms that I didn't see the first time that I got to see this time. So there must be different pathways to take, but it's pretty much numbered sections. And this time we were entitled to have the audio in our ear. It came with the package that we bought. I guess my husband and I didn't buy that one the first time. So it allowed us to have like this little voice recorder with headphones. And as we were walking from room to room, we would plug in the number of the spot that we were going to, and it would tell us information. there are themes each time that you go to the Biltmore. And so the last time that we went, when I said with my husband, it was movie themed. So every room was set up to show you movies that had been filmed inside of the Vanderbilt and different costumes that they wore during the movies and things like that. That was really interesting. I wish I would have had those headphones during the last time, because I probably would have gotten like a lot of movie buff information. But this was called the Vanderbilt Party. So apparently the Vanderbilts were known for throwing parties all the time. And so every time that you went into a room, it was part of a cohesive story about a big party that was being thrown inside of the Vanderbilt. And it was true testament, because it's, you know, stories passed on, or just, you know, obvious factual information that they know as far as who was arriving there that day and events that happened. So it was really interesting to kind of listen as we were going along. It made it a lot more interesting than the first time I went, because as you can see, you're just on a line of people walking along velvet ropes, just kind of viewing. So it really was nice to hear that stuff and just kind of get a little bit more information. The stuff, look at the ceilings in this place. Like, it's so exquisite, the detail, and to imagine that this was built hundreds of years ago. So I mean, to me, that blows my mind, because some of this is very modern looking and nothing has changed. They are very specific about leaving everything pristine the way that it is, and that's why everything's roped off so that you can't walk beyond and you can't see. But it is, this mansion, I mean, the detail, the infrastructure, it's absolutely exquisite and amazing. And again, something else I suggest that you do visit the Biltmore if you had never been. But we kind of rushed through it this time. Vanessa was really uncomfortable with her back, and so it's a lot of walking. So if I would have filmed this entire thing, this vlog would have been like hours upon hours. So I just took little clips just to kind of give you guys an idea and feel if this is something that you'll ever want to do yourself, or to look more into it if you're interested in what you see. But now we're going to get into like the fun stuff, because now we're getting into the bowling alley, the swimming pool, the kitchen, like all the main reasons why I wanted to go to the Biltmore. Right here alone, real proof of that modern technology hundreds of years ago. But just the inside indoor pool with the Edison lights that go along the whole interior. Obviously there's no water in it for safety purposes, but it was just crazy to see how gorgeous that was set up. And that's been set up like that for, like I said, hundreds of years. A rotisserie kitchen, you guys. A kitchen specific for just rotisserie. It was so cool to see these pantries, like pantries that went on for days. The building itself was so large that it housed so many people, and for big parties and all of the help that had to be in there, it was really cool to see. Like, they had full refrigerators, like deep freezers that you walk into, and dry pantry goods that just went on for miles. It was a kitchen like I would die to cook in that kitchen. It is so cool. I loved how they had everything set up with like fake food to get you guys kind of the feel of what it really would be like walking through there on the day of a party, when they would be preparing food and stuff to bring out to the guests. All right, guys, so we are done with the Biltmore. It was a long walk and a lot of stairs, especially for V, because her back is really killing her. So we are out in the courtyard right now, and we're taking a break. We just got ourselves some coffee since we didn't get any before we got in here. And then I think we're gonna hit the gift shops and maybe something to eat here. I'm not sure. But then I'm gonna take the girls over to the winery. So their winery is absolutely exquisite. The whole room is like really vaulted ceilings. Their bar is gorgeous. They have like a really nice place where they sell like their wine stuff and their food and all of their like dips and dressings, and
that's the kind of stuff that I love, so I can't wait to take them into there. And then the outside has like gift shops and like farm animals and stuff, so I want to take them to go see that. And then we're actually going to hit the swanky McDonald's and then head on home. Daffodils. Yeah. Come this way. Alright guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but we've made it to our wine tasting. So here's our little wine list. And I really like this because they give you a pencil and a way for you to score what you like, so that when you leave here, you know what you tasted and if you liked it and if you want to purchase it. So I just got my first tasting and I'm trying the Riesling. And they give you like about 6 or 7 options. So we'll be here for just a little bit. I know the girls right now are trying the Sauvignon Blanc. After we finished our wine, we did a little shopping and then we headed out on to the road. That day was actually St. Patrick's Day. It's my husband's favorite day of the year, so I wanted to make sure to get home to him. I had all of this food and a fun night planned. So when we left, we hit up this really swanky McDonald's. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch it on the left, but it is like the fanciest McDonald's I've ever seen.
I don't know. I was between two. And there were completely different directions to go.
I miss my woman.
I miss my woman. Aww.
So her cat saying, my cat, her kitty cat. Oh, you thought Matt said that?
Okay, when I am a billionaire, I shall erect a 50-foot statue to commemorate.
How are you doing? I got no makeup on. And you're filming me? You guys are too cute. Aww.
Sorry we missed yours.
You're so sweet. Oh my gosh. You're so funny.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. As you can see, we ended up our St. Patrick's Day coming home. I made corned beef and cabbage and a whole bunch of yummy Irish appetizers. We had green margaritas and green beer, and we played Cards of Humanity, and it was a really, really fun night. We had a great time, and then the next morning the girls got ready to leave, and Madison and I put together like a little mock birthday party because we didn't get to see Vanessa for her birthday, so we put together a little something so that we could celebrate with her in person. But it was a really fun weekend, and now we have another fun weekend ahead with myself, Vanessa, and Nicole. So stay tuned for that. I love you guys all so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.